I'm David Scandura.
I'm Justus Burkett.
And today we're here to talk about, find out if Stargate is the greatest movie ever made, you fucking cunt.
Bunny way.
Bunny way.
What's that mean?
I have no idea.
Welcome to the greatest movie ever made, the show where we, two blokes, watch a movie and tell you fucking twats if it's the greatest movie ever made.
Bunny way.
A movie that is so thoroughly entertaining or compelling, it's the only thing that matters in the King's own England.
Yes, and as you all know, I am here, as always, with my co-host, Ray Winstone. As you all know, I have done over 100 episodes of this podcast. Me, Justus Burkett, with Ray Winstone, my dear
Ray Winstone,
my close personal friend.
Joined as always by my fucking co-host and fucking tosser, Justus Burkett. Maybe this is finally the episode where I bash your fucking head in.
Oh man, God willing. Are you gonna do that the whole time?
No.
You didn't come in hot addressing our
when we
listeners
do
as the C word.
maybe when we do like Snatch or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah. Right. Then
Yeah.
you'll do the Ray Winstone voice
Sure.
the entire time.
Yeah. I'll do the Cockney voice.
Yeah. Ray Winstone should have been in this movie. That would have been cool.
Oh man.
Ray Winstone is one of those Space Marine guys.
You know, with this fucking So here's the thing. We watched The Pest last week, so anything.
Oh, yeah.
Anything was gonna be a treat.
Stargate, like, this is not going to affect my verdict, but watching Stargate with Pest so near in the rear view, and it being the last movie we covered for this podcast, Stargate did sort of look like Citizen Kane to me.
Oh my god. The first 30 minutes I was like, we got James Spader here, we
Yeah.
got like Egyptian relics.
Yes.
And then Kurt Russell shows up, and then the fucking old lady from Exorcist 3 is here.
Yes.
And then Richard Kind appears.
Yes, Richard Kind just like walks into this movie in the coziest looking sweater you've ever seen, and he's just smiling a bunch, and I was just like, God damn, I love when Richard Kind just walks into a movie and is like, yeah, I'm also here. It's me, Richard Kind.
The only thing that could have made this movie better, other than sending Richard Kind through the Stargate.
They should have.
Yeah.
We needed Richard Kind to get blasted off onto knockoff Arrakis.
Hey guys. So you aliens, huh? You Egyptian aliens. I'm Richard Kind.
So the one with the wolf head, you're Anubis? Oh, I'm sorry, it's a jackal head. I'm sorry,
I didn't know that. If Ray Winstone fucking showed up and been like, so you gotta go through this fucking Stargate, you fucking cunt, I would have been so happy. You said
I'm gonna militarize this primitive culture, isn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna fucking go to space Egypt and fucking colonize these bastards, just like we did to India,
Just like we did to regular fucking Egypt.
That would have been great. You know what? He would have fucking taken the like Anubis and Ra out in one. Just like just a fucking cricket bat to the neck, and like they're done.
I'll do respect to Kurt Russell. What this squad of space military guys is missing is a big bruiser. None of these guys are that big. Like, Kurt Russell has been bigger in his career than he is in this movie. In this movie, he's kind of he's looking a little small. He's looking lean. You know, he looks like healthy and fit, but he's not like big in this movie. And I'm like, where is the fucking muscle on this fucking space military crew? It feels like there should be one guy who's like just fucking like yoked, and they're like none of these guys. Like, they're all like, they all just look like regular.
You got French Stewart is a space marine, and I just can't conceive of a universe in which Third Rock from the Sun ass French Stewart is a space marine.
Yeah, it is funny. I think French Stewart is the one at the end that kind of like claps James Spader on the back as they're all about to go home and is like, "You did good, man." And I'm like, he does not have military energy at all. He's just like, good game, buddy.
And he looks like he put in some work. Like, he looks a little bit like lean and fit. But
Yeah,
it's
they
also
put
like
French Stewart through boot camp. They had him do some push-ups.
Yeah, but he also kind of looks like Adrian Brody in Predators, where it's like you bulked up a bit, but and I know you're trying, but it's just not working, buddy.
Yeah,
your
yeah.
face is just too sad.
Yeah. This movie also does have the Independence Day thing, which is another Roland Emmerich movie, obviously, where there's like supposed to be like a dork-ass nerd protagonist, but the dork-ass nerd protagonist is like more Chad than any of the military guys in
Right,
the
he's
movie.
like hot as fuck.
Yeah, because that also happens in Independence Day, because it's like they're trying to pass Goldblum off as the fucking like dork-ass
No.
nerd in that movie. And it's like, I'm looking at Jeff Goldblum. He's a fucking...
We
he's-
all saw him with his shirt
Yes.
unbuttoned in Jurassic
He's
Park.
a jacked alpha Chad, and you're trying to like play him off as like, oh, this is the dorky guy on the crew, and it's like, no, that's the sexiest man I've ever seen.
We all know he has a cock like a fucking anaconda. You cannot pretend that
Right.
he is just like the Jewiest,
yeah.
nerdiest fucking dork in the world.
If you've ever seen Deep Cover, you know, or not Deep Cover.
Yeah, Deep Cover.
Deep Cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I got the name of the movie wrong. But yeah, if you've ever seen Deep Cover, it's like, no, you know that Jeff Goldblum is like, he's like a sexy fucking killing machine.
yeah,
like,
the Fly.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
you get why Gina Davis sticks with him even as the flying is,
Right.
is taking over.
Right,
his
it's
body.
like that guy can be leaking some goo, and you're still like, he still like looks like Jeff
I
Goldblum.
kind of like that goo. I kind of want to gargle that goo.
Right, right. Gina Davis does want to gargle that goo, but eventually, like when the goo to man ratio tips, like the balance tips,
Oh, yeah.
in favor of goo, you have to like be like, all right, I think I have to leave this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stargate.
yeah, Stargate.
This is the movie that we're talking about this week.
That's right, Roland Emmerich's Stargate.
How? Before we do that, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am busy, very busy, and going to only get busier. Such is the life of, person working for an arts organization that primarily produces stuff in the summer. But I'm doing good. I'm just busy. And I don't really know if I have anything to call out that would be interesting, or media recommendations. So I guess I'll just not do that part. Yeah, David, how are you?
I'm fucking bad.
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
Bad.
That's
Bad day.
I don't like hearing
Bad
that.
time.
Yeah.
And I've had 7 beers.
Oh. Like before you came over here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that helped.
Yeah.
But we're having a bad time.
I'm sorry you're having a bad time.
I worked today, and hours at work have been very, very scarce, as we talked about, personally. So I had like a short day, and it's the first day that I've worked in like almost a full week. And it just is like fucking like, I've been asking for some time off, but on the days that I haven't asked for time off, I am available to work.
Yes.
But they are not scheduling me to work.
Yes.
And today I had to ride along with one of the newer guys, and bless his heart, I was not in the fucking mood to interact with him today.
Yeah.
And I'm positive that I'm going to be hearing him in my dreams tonight. Because he was just talking my fucking ear off all day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other stuff on my life that's worse than that.
Yeah.
But as far as what prompted me to drink 7 beers,
It was just
that
having
may have been him.
a forced social interaction with
Yeah,
a person
I mean,
that you don't want to be interacting with all day.
It could have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, right.
I don't have anything to recommend other than drinking
7
7
beers.
beers.
That explains you starting the podcast in Ray Winstone voice.
yeah.
Now that I know that you had the 7 beers.
Yeah,
that
I had
means-
fucking a fucking pot of Guinness.
Yeah.
No, I had a Coors Bank. I had 7 Coors Banquets.
Yes, a baker's 6-pack, a brewer's 6-pack of Coors Banquets. Yeah.
I don't have anything to recommend.
Okay.
Other than give up. Just give up.
Stop trying. Yeah.
Just your dreams, your hopes.
Right. Sure.
Bury them in a 6-foot grave.
Yeah, I think that everybody kind of has that realization when they hit their 30s.
Hey, the world is controlled by billionaire pedophiles.
Yes.
So, like, fuck it, man.
Yeah, that's kind of, in some ways, what this movie seems like it is about. Like, Ra is sort of pedophile coded.
You know what?
Huh.
If the U.S. military was investing money in Stargates rather than bombing Palestine,
Right, yes.
I would be way more
Of course.
pro-military.
Well, yeah. Yeah, there is like also the military propaganda part of this movie. Like when they all salute Kurt Russell at the end and it's like, yes, we love the troops. But yeah, like Ra is a little pedophile coded. He's also like a little like there is like something in here about like how he has all of the he is like hoarding all the wealth and power and technology, and he is like subjugating everybody else, like all of the underclasses for resource extraction that only benefits him. There's stuff there. He's also like sucking the life force out of like people to stay eternally young, which like was reminding me of that one guy who's like fucking injecting himself with his son's blood or whatever. That millionaire, that guy.
Oh no,
yeah, there's like a guy.
That's not the guy who's like trying to keep himself.
Yeah,
young.
He's trying to like live forever.
Is it that same guy?
It's that guy. Well, I don't know his fucking name.
I think it's Brian.
Yeah, it is Brian something.
Brian Johnson. Not the guy from
I don't think
AC/DC?
I don't think it's Brian, but it's Brian something. Brian.
But it was like he's like done all these these health routines and these therapies to like keep his body at like 20 something
to live forever.
But he looks fucking old as shit.
It is Brian Johnson.
It is Brian Johnson. Okay.
Yeah.
He's injecting himself with his son's blood.
I believe so. I believe I heard that he was harvesting his son's blood, allegedly voluntarily. Allegedly, his teenage son is consenting to this, and I believe he is injecting himself with his teenage son's blood in order to try and, I don't know, make his blood younger.
hey, Roland Emmerich, you need a follow-up to fucking Moonfall? Do that movie.
Yeah, here's a picture of him and his weird son.
Oh my God.
It's funny that he's like trying to like stay eternally young and like live forever, and he looks like shit.
Yeah, he looks like ass. He looks like when you create your Dark Souls character and then you start the actual game, and the game, you didn't realize that the game has turned your character into a zombie for the beginning.
Yeah, he looks like, it's crazy because he's 48 years old. He looks older than 48. Like if you told me this guy was 56, I would believe you. And he looks like he's been AI upscaled in real life. Like anyway, Ra was kind of giving me Brian Johnson vibes because he's like, yes, I have to like maintain, but it's working for Ra. Ra looks great.
Oh yeah, yeah, possessing the body of a child, and it's turning out great for him.
Yeah. This the actor who plays Ra's like human form. Obviously, I think it's maybe, I don't know if it's the same actor giving a voice performance and they just modulate his voice a bunch.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or if it's like a different voice actor. But the guy doing the like physical performance for Ra was like a supermodel. Like that's how they hired him. They were like,
he doesn't have many credits other than this.
No, because he's mostly a model.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very gorgeous man, very like androgynous looking and stuff. And it's like, I like that vibe. I like his whole like, the whole thing of like, the villain of the movie is like this kind of like beautiful twink.
I mean, yeah, I
don't know about the politics of it, but I just like how it looks.
My sort of overall thing with this movie.
Yeah.
And I just want to get this out there, and then I'll ask you if you have any history with this thing. It's like, it could be weirder.
Yeah.
And it would be better if it was weirder.
I agree with that.
And what I really wanted when James Spader and the one white lady among the space Egyptians that he's gonna bang because she's the one white lady.
Yes, right, of course.
When they're looking at the hieroglyphs, and he's like, I think he tells the story to Kurt Russell. Yeah. About like, the alien subjugated this race, and he possessed the body of a child because he was dying. His body was dying. Yeah. And then they built the Stargate, and he came to Earth, and he subjected, like, all that stuff. I am like waiting. This movie would be so much better if when Raw takes his mask off, there's just a fucking alien under there.
Yeah.
We just get a fucking creepy little gray guy.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, you do get the creepy gray guy in a couple spots in this movie, but like not enough. I do agree with that. Where it's like, yeah, we like, especially because we're already doing like big crazy Muppets in this movie because there's those like camel guy things, and it's like we could just do another weird puppet, like just make him a weird puppet,
just make him a fucking.
And even if like he's in the human form for most of the movie, like just do the whole final showdown like he just like reverts to his final form or
because he does this transition back to that form as he's
right
dying.
before he explodes,
right, as like his cells are being pulled apart or whatever. But it's not enough. Just give me the weird, because that's way cooler. Like I'm a freaky little alien guy, and I built this mask, and I've constructed this persona to terrify and intimidate an indigenous population that I can enslave. But in the reality, I'm just a weird little freaky alien guy underneath. That's way cooler than casting a supermodel.
I do kind of like the supermodel with the deep voice, though. I sort of like that. I'm like, it kind of works for me. I don't know.
It could be better. It just could be better.
Yeah.
There's a version of this movie in my head that is maybe better.
Yeah.
But that's not
I
to
think
say,
that was true of a lot of people, and that's why there ended up being like 8 TV show spinoffs.
That's not to say that I dislike this movie, but yeah. So I had never seen this movie.
Yeah.
I had never watched the TV shows. I was aware of the TV shows. I also knew that, like, sort of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like the movie came out, didn't really make a big cultural impact. Like Stargate made money, but it's not like people talk about the first Stargate.
Yeah, it made money, and it's kind of considered Roland Emmerich's breakthrough film. Like this is what like made studios start taking him seriously as like a blockbuster filmmaker guy. But you're right. I think especially compared to some of his other movies, this one is like a drop in the ocean as far as like the impact that it had.
So like the movie came out, it was, it didn't leave a huge impact, I think, overall, but the TV shows that followed made a really big impact. And I just say Buffy the Vampire Slayer because it was also like sort of a similar thing.
Yes. And
the movies and the shows are like basically unrelated.
Yes.
But I didn't know anything about it. I'd never seen it before. I was completely blind watching this. Do you have, and you picked this?
Yes.
So what's your experience with this thing?
So I had seen this movie one time before, and the reason that I picked it was because this is the rare case where this is a childhood watch. I probably saw this when I was like, I don't know, like 11 or 12 probably, maybe a little younger. And I saw it on TV. It was like airing on like TNT or something. And so I watched this on TV, but we like caught it right at the beginning. So I saw like the whole thing. And there are 2 movies that I can remember this being the case with, which is movies that I saw once on TV that I remembered really well, right? So going into this movie again, I have not seen it since like that one time I watched it on TV as a kid. And like my memory of this movie, I was like, wow, I remember a lot of that. Like I remember a lot of scenes in that movie. I even remember some lines of dialogue. I remember like whole moments of it, which is crazy for something that I hadn't seen in 20 years, right? And the other movie that's like that is The Devil's Advocate, starring Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. That's another movie I saw on TV as a kid that I remember so much of that movie. And that's another one that I'll probably pick for the podcast at some point in the future.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I will probably pick Devil's Advocate.
That'd be a fun one to do.
But yeah, so like this movie like left a pretty big impression, even though I only saw it the one time, because I think I saw it like at the perfect age. Like I feel like 12 years old is like the exact right age to watch this movie probably.
Yeah.
And I remember me and my older brother watched it, and then for like months, years even after seeing this movie on TV, we would be quoting it to each other. We would say Bunny way to each other all the time. We would say give my regards to King Tut asshole, like stuff like that. Like there were just like lines from this movie that we like latched onto, moments from it. And seeing this movie and enjoying it did make me interested, me and my brother interested in the TV shows. And so I did, after watching this movie, watch some Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis, because I think those were the only two that were airing at the time. Now there's like a bunch more.
Yeah,
like,
they did like an animated show.
Yeah.
Right now, the rights are in the hands of Amazon because they bought MGM.
Yeah.
And I think they're shopping around ideas to continue Stargate.
Yeah.
In some form.
I feel like that. Like I was looking on because I watched this on like Prime Video because it's free on there. And when I searched Stargate to watch the movie, there's like 10 TV shows.
Yeah.
Which is, I was like, I had no idea there were this many.
Yeah.
And some of them are like one season only, so they're probably like a limited series. And I think like one of them maybe wasn't even a show. It was maybe like a TV movie that they had made. But yeah, there's like a lot of Stargate content out there, I guess.
And Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, the screenwriter, are not involved with those. They don't have, they did the movie.
Yep.
And then they made the show without their involvement. And I think they tried to get together and had some ideas to do a reboot or continuation of their version of Stargate. Because there was idea that this might be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Where like each Stargate takes you to a different kind of is involved with a different civilization.
Yeah, and I think that the whole Stargate Atlantis
Yeah.
TV series is like playing off of that early idea.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because this movie reminds me a lot of the Disney movie
Atlantis
Atlantis
the Lost
Empire.
Especially because James Spader is just in this movie is the human version of Milo from that movie.
Yeah.
Like, like if you did a live action Atlantis the Lost Empire, you would want 1994 James Spader to play that character.
He's the nerdy guy.
Yeah.
The nerdy archaeologist
Yes.
who discovers the lost civilization and then saves them.
Yes.
Bangs the light skinned chick, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking stick around.
You're right.
You guys go without me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had tried to do a reboot, but it didn't work out because of rights. But it's weird that like, and I think now Roland Emmerich doesn't want anything to do with Stargate.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And he and Dean Devlin. Well, this is sort of like the peak of Roland Emmerich's hold in Hollywood, because you both in terms of like quality and success.
Yeah.
Because you have Universal Soldier, which happens after his movie Moon 44, where he meets Dean Devlin, who's an actor who rewrites all of his own lines. So he brings him on as a screenwriter for Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
They both kind of have different sort of sci-fi ideas that they merge together into Stargate, and then they do Independence Day.
Yeah.
And then they do Godzilla, which is a success, but it's also
critically,
it's the Roland Emmerich
derided.
Godzilla film.
Yes. This movie is also the beginning of his long-standing feud with Roger Ebert, because Roger Ebert famously hated this movie. It was on, like, I think until the day he died, I believe, this still had a place on his top 10 most hated films of all time. 1994's Stargate. And like because of that, Roland Emmerich when he makes Godzilla is like naming the shitty Mayor Ebert. Like,
yeah, but it's like
those guys were beefing.
I don't think we think Godzilla eats, because it's like Mayor Ebert and his assistant or his secretary or whatever is the Gene Siskel.
Yeah.
The Gene Siskel parody.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Godzilla doesn't eat them.
Yeah.
Nothing funny happens. They're just in the movie.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like unlikable characters.
Yeah.
Like they're just kind of like, incompetent buffoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that Godzilla movie sucks.
It's bad. We could also do that one on this show, though. I feel like it would actually be pretty prime for it. But probably not for a while, because we're already doing Roland Emmerich right now.
I would rather do other Godzilla movies first, then
right,
we can do that.
Fair enough.
Man, and the thing with that is, like, make that movie 90 minutes, and it's like 2-star, 2.5-star.
Also,
knock around some drinks and have a good time, but it is 140 minutes.
And also, get somebody more likable than Matthew Broderick in your dork ass nerd protagonist role.
Yeah.
Cause you know what the problem is? You know, in this movie we have like a sexy nerd who is very likable in James Spader. You know, he's got like a little bit of like a sinister edge to him that is like alluring, you know, but ultimately he kind of seems like a, you know, well-meaning guy. Same kind of vibe with Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day. And then you got fucking Broderick fucking around Godzilla, and it's like, I cannot stand to spend this much time with this guy.
Yeah.
I need him. I need a break from him.
And you know, the thing about James Spader and Matthew Broderick is they're both guys who have experience with violent car crashes. The difference is that only one of them has experience with fictional violent car crashes in a David Cronenberg film.
Right. Do you think after that happened, Matthew Broderick was like one of those crash guys in real life? Like that was like the only way he could get.
I sort of think that
is that too far? Is that not a okay joke to make?
No, I sort of think that James is it Jackson? Daniel Jackson, his character in this movie?
Yes.
I sort of think that like after the credits roll, he's like, all right, let's get some freaky sex crash things going on with these giant fucking space cows.
Yeah, that is sort of a thing about James Spader is you can't cast him in a movie and ignore his sex freak energy.
Yeah.
There is something about just having James Spader in a movie where it's like, this guy's into some weird shit.
Even when the scene earlier in the movie where the tribal leader gives...
Yes.
This is like, hey, here you go. You can have sex with a woman.
You can marry my daughter, right.
And he's like... putting her clothes back on her, he's also sort of doing like a humana.
He's like, no, you don't have to do that. And he's like, his like eyes are bugging out behind those Coke bottle glasses they got him in. He's like, but I like Spader in this, even though
I think he is the best performance in the movie.
I'm thinking about it. You know. I kind of think it's Richard Kind. He's like not in the movie very much.
Is it just because you like Richard Kind?
I like
because he's not quite he's not fully formed Richard Kind.
I like Richard Kind. I like that he's a little bitchy in this movie though, because like James Spader comes in, like the military brings in James Spader, because they're like, oh, this guy is a fucking conspiracy theorist who thinks that aliens built the pyramids, but he's really good at decoding hieroglyphics. So like, let's put him on the artifact thing that we found.
And it's the classic, like, he's an Egyptologist.
Yes.
And the public is losing interest and he's losing funding.
Yes.
Maybe that's because he thinks Egyptians were influenced by ancient aliens.
Right, yes.
You know, maybe it's the pseudoscience.
I love, like, it's such a good, like, just tropey filmmaking shortcut to just have him do a lecture where he explains basically what the premise of the movie is going to be. He's like, hey, maybe aliens built the pyramids, and like the whole lecture hall of people just walks out. They're all being like, this guy's full of shit. You suck.
It's like Roland Emmerich being like, hey, we've all seen Raiders of the Lost Ark,
right? Right, yeah.
Let's just do a shortcut to get to my space movie.
Yeah. But what I like about Richard Kind is like Spader shows up at like the secret military base, and Richard Kind shows up and it is initially like, oh yeah, okay, like you can show us what you got here. And then like once Spader starts doing well, Richard Kind's like, who does this fucking guy think he is? You think you're better than me? You think you know how to decode this Stargate? I've been working on this Stargate for 2 years. Who do you think you are?
This fucking cunt thinks he can decode my Stargate.
Oi. I've never seen someone take a crack at a Stargate with less than 4 pints in them. How do you think you're going to decode a Stargate drinking like that?
Yeah. You fucking American cunt. Sorry, it's just like it just keeps defaulting.
It keeps coming out of you.
It's just
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you can't say the C word.
I should watch Peaky Blinders
if it drives
to refine my like Cockney impression.
Yeah.
I don't know when else we'll use it on the show other than maybe a Guy Ritchie movie. But
yeah. I mean, you can just bust that out whenever you want. There's no rules here.
I guess so.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like Richard Kind in this movie. And then when they go through the Stargate and you never see him again, I was kind of bummed. I was like,
yeah, not even like a flashback to like,
No.
or sorry, like a B plot as far as like, hey, we lost contact with the team on the other end of the Stargate. What the fuck's going on?
what I really think should have been happening in this movie is I think they should have had Richard Kind on a headset, and he should have been like base, you know, and they should have been reporting back to Kind on a headset so that we can have some of Kind just sitting in a chair being like, hey, what's going on over there with the Stargate, guys? What are you're telling me that there's a supermodel who has a super deep voice and he's an ancient alien inhabiting a boy's body? You guys, you gotta hear this.
this alien made a planet that's sort of an Epstein Island kind of situation.
He does have a floating Epstein pyramid.
Yeah.
Full of half-naked boys, which is unfortunate given Roland Emmerich's association with Bryan Singer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But just Spader is great in this movie. And, and because he is in more of the movie, I think by default he has to be the best performance.
I think Spader's really good.
Yeah.
Especially because I heard that he like thought the script sucked.
Yeah.
And
you're telling me that James Spader thought he was above this?
And Kurt Russell apparently, like they had to up Kurt Russell's salary to $7 million to get him to sign on.
Yeah. Take about Kurt Russell in this movie, you can tell he didn't like being in this movie. I
think, unfortunately, Kurt Russell is sort of wasted in this movie.
He seems...
I remember... I thought he's the name on the poster. Everything I've seen about this movie over the years is like Kurt Russell and a bunch of military dudes go through a Stargate. It's the fucking joke in the fucking South Park Imagination Land episode, I think, where they send Kurt Russell through a Stargate with a bunch of military guys.
Yeah.
And he's basically a supporting character.
He's in the movie a lot, but he doesn't have a lot to do.
But his character's not... They try to do something with him where his son has died.
Oh, my
and
man.
he's on like a suicide mission to blow up the Stargate and seal it from the other side, but he's not.
It's all very like his whole thing is like very like legible. Like you can understand what they're doing with the character because it's very tropey and obvious. But it's like there's just no juice to it.
There's no reason it should be Kurt Russell.
Yes, that's the big problem. Is I'm like you should just cast somebody else in this role. Like I kind of feel like somebody who is better at playing, and is more willing to play just like morose, depressed, like blank behind the eyes, kind of given up on life.
Yeah.
You could give this role to, it's 1994, you could give this role to Mel Gibson.
Sure.
Another Roland Emmerich collaborator on The Patriot, right? Mm-hmm. So they already had a relationship. You could put Gibson in this role, and I think it would be better. Because I think the problem is not because Kurt Russell, I think, is as good or better of an actor than Mel Gibson, and certainly a better human being.
Well, I mean, like we already got the space Egyptians in this movie.
Yeah,
we
right.
don't want to hear Mel Gibson talk about the space Jews.
No. We don't want to hear. We don't want to hear Mel Gibson's thoughts on the indigenous population of this planet halfway across the universe.
The space Israelites.
He's just gonna come up with new slurs for these alien people.
But maybe a more interesting character than Kurt Russell in this movie.
But I think the problem with Kurt Russell, I think why I agree with you that he's wasted in this movie, is it's like Kurt Russell is inherently just like his baseline energy is like one of the most charming and charismatic action leads ever put to screen. And then you are giving him a character with absolutely zero like charisma or fun or play in it. Like the character has one note, which is I am suicidally depressed, and it's like you can't give that part to Kurt Russell because Kurt Russell wants to be fun and magnetic and energetic, you know? And it's like by giving him this part where it's like, oh, I'm so sad my son shot himself. It's like you're immediately like sucking all of the air out of this performance. Like it's like a vacuum because it's like he can't the man doesn't know what to do with that. You
Yeah.
need to give him more.
He's got to be a little silly with it, you
Yeah.
know? And like
Yeah.
even when he's like even when he's playing things one note, you get like Snake Plissken,
Yes.
who's like a little silly.
But that's because like the tone of the movie is sillier than the tone of this movie. And I'm not saying this movie is self-serious because I don't think it is. I think this has a sort of like summer blockbuster adventure-y tone to it.
Yeah.
But it is less campy than like Escape from New York. And crucially, like Escape from New York is like anchored on that character. Like the universe of that movie, it revolves around Snake Plissken. Whereas like in this movie, he's just another bit player. And it's like his magnetism is too powerful for you to sideline him and give him nothing to do.
Yeah.
And you can tell that he just didn't like doing it. Like he seems bored, you know? He seems like tired to me in this movie.
Yeah, I think it's I love him, but he's just not delivering it here.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't do as much research as I should have before this, but it does feel like there's a version of this movie that is longer, that is perhaps more epic and closer to its sci-fi influences, or it's sci-fi and its filmic influences. It's closer to a Raiders, it's closer to Dune, it's closer to Lawrence of Arabia in like size and scope. But the movie that we have doesn't have enough time to let all of its characters really develop and get fleshed out, other than like James Spader.
Yeah.
And then the sillier version of this movie that's 90 minutes kind of has to get rid of all of the culture stuff related to the indigenous aliens, and like gets rid of the romance, and like,
or if we have the romance, it just like plays like the obvious beats of it really fast. Like what we really can't have in the silly 90-minute version of this movie is the sequence where the alien fighter jets like bomb the village. That was a scene in this movie where I was like, what is this doing here? Like, we don't need this. Like, because if we're having like a fun, silly sci-fi romp, we shouldn't be spending time on this, you know? And if we're like doing the more like serious version of this movie, then like this, we have to be treating this differently. It can't just be like fucking Independence Day lasers and then like a stunt guy flying into the air.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I do agree with you.
The space, the fighter jets, though, the UFOs.
Yeah.
That sequence is cool, though, because you could tell they had something practical on set.
Yes.
Like some of the shots from the perspective of the soldiers and the villagers looking up.
Yeah.
There's something flying over their heads that's like a practical model. And
yes.
like, that's really cool.
Yes. That does lead me to, I think, one of the strongest points of this movie, which is the effects.
Yeah.
Because this is a movie from 1994, and we're like right on the cusp of like when a lot of movies started going full digital for a lot of their effects. And I think it's really interesting that this movie does a lot of shit practically. And then it also does a lot of CGI stuff, and the CGI stuff mostly works, I would say, exceptionally well in this movie.
Yes, it definitely looks dated, but it's dated in a way that's charming as opposed to like cringy and bad, which I generally think is kind of the way things go with CGI effects.
Yeah, totally. The CGI in this movie kind of makes me feel the same way that like stop motion does in an 80s movie, right? Where I'm like, you can tell that that's an old dated effect that we wouldn't do the same way now, but there is sort of a charm to it. You can kind of see the love and the attention that went into the effect, even if it doesn't look good, right? And it's like, yeah, like some of those stop motion effects in like the original Star Wars trilogy look like that. And some of the CGI in this movie was giving me the same feeling, where I was like, you can tell it's janky, but it's also janky in a way where it's like, it feels intentional. It feels like they knew the limitations of the technology.
Yeah.
And were just doing the best they could. And they tried to make aesthetic, artistic choices within the limitations of the technology, rather than trying to like push up against the border of what they could do.
Yeah, I think a good summary, like a good scene that sort of summarizes their approach to the effects in this movie, both practical and digital, is when they open the Stargate.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, we need to introduce the Stargate has opened in a very dramatic way, and then we also need to do something where we show the character interacting with the surface of the portal on the Stargate.
Yeah.
And so like they do this water explosion practically to show that the Stargate is open.
The water thing is really cool.
And it's like, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then they clearly like Roland Emmerich watched like The Abyss or Terminator 2 and was like, okay, we can do that now. I don't know if he sounds like that.
I don't know. He is German.
He is German? I think
Yes.
he's Swedish for some reason.
He's German, yes.
No, the old lady from Exorcist 3 that's in this is Swedish.
Yes.
That's what got me
Yeah,
mixed
she
up.
is Swedish.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that.
We'll make the Stargate look like the T-1000. Now I'm just doing Arnold.
The Stargate. No, now if you had Arnold on this fucking team of
Arnold in the beret and the fatigues.
Yeah, if you had
going
him
through
in the
Stargate,
Kurt Russell role,
5-star movie.
yeah,
That's a classic film right there.
if Arnold Schwarzenegger was throwing down with Anubis at the end of this movie, that would be fucking incredible.
If there was a movie that existed where Arnold Schwarzenegger fought Egyptians from space, I would watch that movie like once a week for the rest of my life.
It would also be hilarious for Arnold Schwarzenegger to be like, I am suicidally depressed because my son shot himself.
My son, after I was Turbo Man, he came down with suicidal depression after being in the Phantom Menace, and then I went through the portal after he died to go fight the space Egyptians.
I'm on a suicide mission. I'm going to detonate an atomic bomb.
Yeah. Give my regards to King Tut, asshole.
he would have killed that fucking line.
Yeah, that
this
line
might
is
be-
so weirdly out of place in this movie.
This might be the only Kurt Russell role of all time that would be better if Arnold Schwarzenegger played it. I think that has never happened before or since. That Kurt Russell was in a movie that in a role that would have been better suited to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The digital effect that they do for the surface of the Stargate.
Yeah.
And James Spader touching it and going through it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look great, but it also just like, I don't know, it works. And
Yeah.
it's sort of charming
It
that they
doesn't-
tried a thing.
It doesn't look real. Like, it looks obviously like a CG effect. But the thing that I like about it is the way that it is used in the movie is this is like a fucking wormhole across the universe. This is supposed to look very alien and otherworldly. And because it kind of looks fake, it gives your brain that kind of thing where it's like, what? Like, I can tell what I'm looking at like doesn't belong on planet Earth, right? And it works, I think. And I really like the effect when they go through the Stargate, where there's like it's a little screensavery, but I think in like a good and charming
Sure.
way. Where like they're like flying through the stars on like the fucking like Mario Kart Rainbow Road. And like the stars kind of like bend inward and like cluster and then like go shooting at the screen and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think that effect is really cool.
Yeah, that has its charm too.
Yeah.
I really like that stuff. Let me just put this out there.
Yeah.
For the first 30 or so minutes of this movie, up until they go through the Stargate,
Yeah.
I was riveted.
Yeah.
I was. I kind of approached this being like, it's the Roland Emmerich Stargate movie, and like I have some sort of affection for Roland Emmerich, but I've never thought that I ever needed to see this in my life. We'll see how it goes. And then like as the credits are rolling and like David Arnold's score, which is really good, fucking going off.
Yes, I do have to just take this brief moment since you mentioned the score to say MVP of this entire fucking movie, David Arnold. I think even more than Spader, the hardest working member of the entire production is David Arnold. I think he elevates this movie to a level that it is incapable of achieving without this score.
It gives it some of that like epic adventure.
Yes.
gravitas to it.
My take
that it doesn't quite achieve on its own.
You already mentioned Indiana Jones. My take about this score is that every single composition on this David Arnold score sounds like the fourth best composition in an Indiana Jones movie. And that is praise. Like, that's me saying that's a good thing. Because, like, the fourth best John Williams composition in some of John Williams' best movie work, is still excellent. And I really think that David Arnold is, like, he's just like batting like B+. I'm mixing my metaphors. I'm saying batting and then giving it grades. He's hitting a B+ or an A- basically across the board in this entire movie.
Yeah.
I really think the score is the standout of this movie.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mostly know him from he does some Bond scores during this time. He's big in like the Pierce Brosnan.
This was
Bond
his
era.
first American film too. I was reading about that, and I guess like he had never done an American movie before. He had scored some films in England. And he was still kind of like living in relative like poverty and obscurity when this opportunity came his way. And so I guess he like really applied himself like 110% because he was like, I have to make this work. This is like a big Hollywood film. This is like a make or break moment in my career. So like when initial shooting was happening, he was like sitting down with the actors and like grilling them about what they filmed and like trying to like talking to them about the interiority of their characters and stuff so that he could start working that into the score that he was writing.
Cool.
He was like doing his homework because he was really passionate about like making this work for him.
Awesome.
You know?
Yeah. I think it works. I think it works really well. And the opening credits start and we're getting, sort of like abstract footage over something that eventually is like the I think it's an Anubis statue or a Ra statue.
It's like the Ra mask.
Oh, it's the Ra mask. Yeah.
And they like I was reading about this. They made it out of fiberglass, so that's just like a real prop.
Mm-hmm.
And then they filmed it with a motion tracking camera so that it would stay in focus when it was like going all around the mask, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
So that's like, and I'm looking at the opening credits and seeing who's in the movie. And then we cut to like 1928 in Egypt, and there's a fucking dig site, and I'm like, is this movie gonna rock? And then James Spader shows up, and we got Kurt Russell, and we're going to a fucking underground base, and I'm like, is this movie gonna whip ass?
The first scene of Kurt Russell is very promising because the way you're introduced to his character is a couple of like army guys show up at his house. His wife is like dead-eyed washing dishes in like a silent shell of their former life, and they're like, is your husband home? And she's like, barely, or whatever she says. And then we cut to Kurt Russell in his dead son's bedroom holding a gun and contemplating committing suicide. And then like a couple of army guys come in and are like, are we interrupting something? And he has the longer hair in that scene before he cuts it into this high and tight that is really not working for his face.
Yeah. But I mean, and then the reveal of the Stargate, and maybe I'm fucking stupid.
No, I don't think you're stupid. I think the beginning of this movie rocks.
I didn't know anything about this movie, but once we like reveal the Stargate and we start talking about how it works in sort of vague terms that I kind of like.
Yeah, me too.
Where there's these symbols and you have to do them in a certain order, and James Spader's trying to decipher them and decode them. Then the mystery becomes like, what's on the other end of the Stargate?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if this movie is a Star Trek movie or if it's Aliens or if it's a straight up sci-fi horror movie. Like I don't really know what's going to happen when we get on the other side of the Stargate.
Right.
And even as the movie goes along, even though I start sort of seeing the tropes kind of plainly laid out, there's still that pull that the movie has on me. And then when it's like, okay, we've gone through the Stargate, we've discovered that there's indigenous alien humans that live there. Okay, we're probably going to do like a Dune white savior sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're back in the pyramid and these guys are getting killed by the Egyptian gods or some shit. What the fuck? It it would lose me and be like, okay, we're kind of just doing tropey bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it would just inject a little something to keep me back on track.
Yeah.
But I do think the first 30 minutes before we go through the Stargate are like legitimately, at least for me, really exciting science fiction filmmaking.
I completely agree with you. I think that the first act of this movie is easily the strongest, and I think it gets progressively weaker the farther we get into it. Like, I kind of think that, like, this is sort of one of those movies where every scene is just a little worse than the scene that came before it, like all the way until the end. And there's stuff I like about the ending too, but it does feel like it's kind of like a steady decline over the runtime of this thing. But yeah, I completely agree with you about the beginning, and I think that is also I think the stuff at the beginning is what intrigued a lot of people. And that's what you get more of in the TV show. You get a lot more of like scientists and military guys sitting around in situation rooms talking about what, where the Stargate's gonna take them, and like that mystery of like what's on the other side of this thing is a lot more drawn out and is something that they return to again and again in the TV show. Because it's like, we're not just like taking the Stargate and then like fucking around somewhere. It's like, no, we're like, the Stargate is being used throughout the series.
I think if it took us longer to get through the Stargate, and we maybe had less of the, dollar store Dune plot on the other side, this might be a stronger movie for me.
Yeah,
because I think the first 30 minutes, Roland Emmerich really makes a good use of combining all of these plot lines together, bringing these characters together, and building up the intrigue, kind of in a smaller scale in this movie to what he would do in Independence Day.
Totally.
Where like the first hour of Independence Day is just building up to the aliens landing.
This movie in a lot of ways feels to me like a warm-up for Independence Day.
Yeah.
It kind of does feel like he's just like working out some of those muscles that he's going to use in that movie. And Independence Day, not even necessarily a movie that I love, but a movie that I definitely enjoy, like a really fun time.
Yeah, it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, and it is a movie where it's like, this is sort of one of the texts of American blockbuster filmmaking.
Yeah.
Right? It's sort of undeniable in what it achieves in that regard, right? And it feels like this movie is sort of him learning some of those skills that were gonna coalesce into that kind of undeniable thing that he was gonna do, a few years later. And one of the things is like Ra's like pyramid spaceship descending on top of the other pyramid. It feels so much like a moment from Independence Day.
Yeah.
Like when the aliens arrive in Independence Day and like the spaceships like go over all the monuments in that movie. I'm like, okay, he's practicing that in Stargate. Like he's just doing it with one monument instead of a bunch.
Right. But like the practical effect looks great. The model that they built looks awesome.
It does. The design of the fucking pyramid spaceship I think is super cool.
Yeah.
I like how like the top of it opens up because Ra's the sun god, so he has like a retractable sunroof to let the light in.
Do you think the guys from Blood Incantation have seen this movie?
Oh, I feel like almost definitely. Yeah.
After
Based
watching
on their
this
album art alone.
After watching this, I was like, I want to fucking throw on Hidden History of the Human Race or something.
Yeah. This does have like, Blood Incantation vibes. Like we're doing like sci-fi death metal.
Yeah. Like the ancient aliens thing in regards to Egypt is, first of all, just like bullshit and racist.
Right, of course. Yeah.
It's also sort of cool.
Right. That's the problem. That's the problem with so many conspiracy theories. Is if you get down to the root of like basically any conspiracy theory, first of all, if you go far enough down with any conspiracy theory, all of them are anti-Semitic. They just all land there.
Right,
like
right.
all roads lead to anti-Semitism with conspiracy theories. But also, like they can be also racist in other ways. And the aliens built the pyramids one is racist because it's like, oh, you just don't think that like African peoples would be sophisticated enough to like figure out fucking math. But also, the problem, the double-edged sword of them, is that a lot of them are just really, really fun ideas. Like Hollow Earth.
Earth's so cool.
That's a fun idea.
Hollow Earth rocks until you get to the anti-Semitism.
I even like Flat Earth. I think Flat Earth is a lot of fun. I'm like, that's a fun idea. What if the Earth was flat? What if it was Discworld and there's an edge that you can fall off of, and like space isn't real? It's just like the canopy or whatever, and like beyond it is heaven or whatever. Like, that's a fun idea. Unfortunately, if you follow the logic of it, it eventually leads to anti-Semitism. So you can't have fun with it, you know? But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Stargate. So we sort of talked about the beginning already. Some of the shit here in the middle that I do like is I like that this movie doesn't take itself too seriously, and it just lets some of the jumps in logic happen, like James Spader just suddenly being fluent in the language. Like, that's stupid. Like, that it doesn't make any fucking goddamn sense. But yeah, his like wife that is that was offered to him by like the chief of the tribe or whatever is like reading the hieroglyphics, and like as soon as he even has a line where he's like, well, as soon as you figure out what the vowels are, it's really easy to speak this language. And it's like, that's fucking horseshit.
Yeah, he learns it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and he's like, this language is like based on a dead language on Earth that is like 1,000 years. Nobody's spoken it in 1,000 years, and he can just figure it out after like one conversation with this lady. But I kind of like the dumb moments like that, because I'm like, that to me lets me know that the movie knows what it is, right? And we're just like sort of yada-yadaing through anything that is like gonna be boring for us to explain, just so that we can get to like more guys dressed as Egyptian gods firing lasers out of their staffs, you know? The stuff that I like are the moments where it's dumb and silly, and yeah, the moments where like we're dealing with like these practical like mechanized heads on these like god guard guys. The moments where like Kurt Russell is like getting a alien child into smoking, that moment's really fun. Like shit like that where it's like camp, I'm like totally in on it. And then like when the movie kind of grinds to a halt to try and like give this any kind of like weight, or like to try and imbue this with any kind of like sincerity, I think is like the problem, you know?
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem with this movie is there's a little bit of an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Because to me, some of the sincere stuff in this works, a lot of it doesn't. And some of the campy stuff in this works, but also a lot of it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think like there's a way to make this movie maybe a little bit campier, but nail some of the sincerity in a way where it feels a little bit more cohesive. But the way they try to do both of it in this movie, where on the one hand it's like, yeah, goofy B space adventure, and on the other hand it's like, no, we're trying to do like Star Wars or Dune,
right?
And take this thing, you know, use like classic tropes of old science fiction serials,
yeah,
in a way that's taken a little bit more seriously and elevated slightly. It doesn't really work.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff in the second act kind of grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
When it's like, God, it's the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome problem where we leave the first act and we go into the desert to meet a bunch of people covered in dirt.
Yeah.
Babbling in a weird language.
Yeah.
And we have to communicate with them.
Yeah, it's a huge problem in this movie, I will not deny, that we are spending so much of this screenplay speaking in a fucking gobbledygook fake language that is very infrequently subtitled. Like, so much of this movie is just people yapping at each other in a made-up language.
And I think some of it works, but
Yeah.
also, I think like Eric Avari, who plays Kasuf, who's
Yes.
the tribal leader.
He's the guy who says Bonnie Way.
Yeah. Does a pretty good performance for what he's given.
I agree. I think he's good in this.
But when we start falling back on the like tropes of like, okay, they don't understand our gestures, and we're pointing to ourselves to say our names,
Yeah.
and someone has a candy bar that they give. It's like, okay,
I like the candy bar moment because he says Bonnie Way, and I like when he says that.
You like when he says Bonnie Way. I get that. I understand. I'm like, if we're gonna explore this culture, can we do it in a more meaningful way
Right.
that also like feels maybe less problematic and
Yes.
white saviory?
Yeah,
you know,
the movie does seem uninterested in exploring the culture in any meaningful way, in a way that does kind of just feel casually racist. I do agree with that, right? Where it's basically like, well, this culture isn't really worth getting to know because they're primitive. Like, that's the thing with them, is that they're primitive. And it's like, well, I don't really like how that feels. Like, I don't like the optics of that.
yeah.
But
I would also love I would love more weird lore and stuff too.
Yeah. There is a director's cut of this movie that's like 10 minutes longer. I don't know if they maybe add some stuff about that,
okay.
but I don't know. I watched the theatrical cut.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I agree. Like, it does kind of start to drag around here because we're just spending too much time. And like, one of the scenes that I really don't like is like when Kurt Russell is like he's asking where Spader went, and he's like talking to the big group of like the teenagers, and they're like doing a game of charades, and it's supposed to be a joke because they're just copying everything that he's doing, but I'm like, can we fucking get on with it? Like, why are we still in this scene? We don't need to be doing this anymore.
Yeah, and it also seems like we're hinting at a father-son relationship between him,
and the kid who he introduces to smoking.
Yeah, the main male kid that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really go anywhere, and I'm kind of okay with it being subtle, but it's also just like, if we're this doesn't need to be a full 2 hours, and if we're looking at things to trim, get that out of here.
Yeah, we really don't need that. And the moment too where we kind of set up that he started kind of thinking of this kid as as reminding him of his son is so ham-fisted too, because it's like they do the cigarette thing, he gifts him the lighter, and then the kid goes to grab the gun, and we've already gotten the info that Kurt Russell's son shot himself.
Yeah.
And so he freaks out when the kid takes the gun, and he's like, no, don't touch that, don't ever touch that, or whatever. And it's like, all right, this is like, we're maybe putting a little bit too much sauce on
Oh
this.
no, I'm gonna lose another son. I'm gonna lose my space son.
Yeah, no, I can't have my space son also shoot himself. It's like, all right, like, I fucking get it. I get it. He's sad his son died. I understand. It's a little too much.
Yeah.
But and too little at the same time, which is, I guess, the Roland Emmerich special when it comes to writing characters a little bit. He's not like known for like 3-dimensional.
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
I mean, the man directed Moonfall, a movie about the moon being a spaceship.
Yes, he
or
also
something like that.
He also wrote 2012, which is the world was supposed to end according to the fucking whatever calendar.
2012 was I kind of like him. I kind of like the guy.
Yeah,
he's made some bad movies.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the second Independence Day movie. I think that was kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
His Godzilla movie sucks, but like 2012 is sort of fun.
Day After Tomorrow is kind of good.
I wish I liked Day After Tomorrow more. My thing is like, okay, so it's a cold disaster movie.
Yeah.
And most of the movie is just like people in shelter being cold.
That's true.
And I think we could. I remember being very bored by that movie.
I don't know. I like Gyllenhaal versus CGI wolves. There's something.
I like Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Gyllenhaal's great. But I've never been let down by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that's true.
Unlike Taylor Swift.
Right.
I didn't even plan that joke. It just happened.
But you just played right into it.
When he was like, "I don't bathe every day," I'm like, "That's correct."
Yeah, I mean I don't bathe every day either, Jake Gyllenhaal, and I'm not even famous. I'm just. But thank you for...
You're just a stinky boy.
Yes, but I'm glad that he is out there repping stinky boys like me. He's making me feel seen. He's the people's celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, once you got the bidet.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like 90% of it.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Although it was like 84 today where we live, so I'm like, I probably have to shower every day in this heat.
Yeah, you do. If for nothing else, you shower for like 5 minutes, get everything clean, and then you turn the faucet to cold to cool yourself down.
Yes, right. Just cool your body down like you're a fucking lizard. By the way, speaking of lizards, it is time for another installment of Would We Eat This? I just remembered that they feed James Spader and Kurt Russell and the boys
Right.
a big alien lizard. They take the military guys to a feast because they show up and they're like, oh, these are maybe associated with the gods because Spader's got the Raw pendant. So they're giving them the VIP treatment. They're like, oh yeah, you can fuck my daughter, you can drink our wine, you can eat this big lizard. And the big lizard, like initially Kurt Russell is like, I don't eat. He's talking to Spader and he's like, don't eat that. Like, don't fucking touch that. We don't know what that is. And Spader's like, I don't know. I kind of want to snack on this lizard. The thing that's interesting to me and that I thought made it eligible for would we eat this is it does kind of look, it's a gross looking animal. It's like a big kind of like chameleon shaped lizard. It's got like the big arched back and it has like horns, which is it's like a giant horned lizard, but they've cracked its back open like a lobster. Like it is served like a lobster.
And I think it's also on a plate with some vegetables garnish.
Yeah,
looking
there's like
thing.
giant tomatoes and stuff around it. Yeah. It's like very interesting presentation. Not how I would expect you to eat a space lizard. I would figure you would probably deep fry something like that. But it seems to be like cracked open down the spine like a lobster.
I don't think the dirt people have access to deep fryers. You know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They're
not allowed to read or write, so they probably aren't,
it's
figuring out deep fryer technology.
When you see them, it looks like a slavery scene out of a biblical epic.
Right.
A bunch of wooden ladders
Prince of Egypt coded.
And mines and people carrying shit on their back.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'd eat the space lizard.
You'd eat the big space lizard?
Even before the very predictable tastes like chicken joke.
Right, because it's 1994. We got to say it tastes like chicken.
I would probably take a bite of space lizard.
Yeah, that was my immediate feeling too. Even with Kurt Russell turning to me and being like, this is an alien creature. We don't know if this is edible to us. I would be like, I don't know, man. I've never eaten a space lizard before. Like, I have to try it.
The people on the planet look relatively human.
Yeah.
One thing I thought about at the end of that movie when he's like, nah, I'm gonna fucking stay here and bang my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Has he seen her genitals yet?
Right.
Does she have human genitalia or is it some weird alien shit?
I do think that they are biologically human because if I understand the backstory of of what happened here, my understanding is Ra, the alien, right? So the sun god Ra is, as we said before, an ancient alien. He seems to be the last of his kind. He's like the last survivor of a dying civilization who is trying to live forever by extracting the life force of lesser species. He encountered humanity, I believe, on Earth. He used the Stargate to travel to Earth.
Right.
And there he met ancient humans. So he went to ancient Egypt, and then he took some humans back to this planet on the other side of the universe to mine this alien mineral that he uses for his technology. And so he's got like a colony of humans across the universe, but he was also kind of like keeping shop on Earth.
Yeah.
And then the Earth humans overthrew him and destroyed the Stargate and trapped him on the other side of the universe with only his kind of like satellite population of humans. But I believe they are humans from Earth.
I couldn't quite recall if they were from Earth or if they were from that planet and then humanity on Earth spawned from them.
I think it's unclear.
It's like we get like a minute and a half of lore.
Yeah.
And it's very fun lore.
Yeah.
And much like Prince of Darkness, Ancient Aliens lore, I would just like more of it.
Yeah. I agree with you in this case. I think in the Prince of Darkness case, they give you enough stuff that you can kind of fill in the gaps on your own. I think with this, it is just straight up unclear in some ways.
Yeah.
Like, because I agree with you. I'm not 100% sure whether the movie is saying humans came from Earth or whether humans came from this other planet and like Ra seeded Earth with human life.
Yeah.
It's
fun
not totally
either
clear.
way. I like it.
But I do believe she will have compatible genitals.
Yeah. Okay, that's the point. We're coming back to the point. Yeah.
Because I think at most these humans have been living on this planet across the universe for like 2,000 years, and I don't think that's enough time to like evolve a vagina that like won't accept a human penis. Like I think that probably takes like, I don't know, like 1 million years or something. Evolution's really slow. I don't know.
I guess you don't talk to the women that I talk to.
Right, they're like, sorry, my pussy is too evolved for you.
Yeah, basically. Hey,
This has been Would We Eat This? I guess the real question is,
would we eat that sandy space pussy?
right, would you eat an alien woman's vagina?
I mean, yeah, of course.
I would if I was legally married to her and if my current wife didn't exist.
That's the correct answer. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, it's a big problem with this movie that we're not naming this planet or the mysterious alien mineral.
Yeah.
I would like a goofy name for these things, please, Roland Emmerich.
They also analyzed the alien mineral at one point. Like, one of the guys on the team, there's like a bunch of guys on the team who seem like dead meats, and then I feel like we don't see any of them actually get killed.
Yeah, a lot of them survive.
But like one of these guys just like scans the mineral, and I believe his like computer thing reads back to him that it's like primarily composed of quartz. And I was like, I thought you said that this was like an alien mineral that didn't exist on Earth. And then it's like, no, yeah, it's mostly just like a rock that we have. Like, it's like 98% quartz. I don't know. It's confusing and ill-defined. And right, and we should be naming it. Like, we should have some like fucking Avatar unobtainium shit going on here.
Yeah.
Because at least they had the balls in Avatar to call it unobtainium and to call the planet Pandora. Like, we should just be giving shit stupid names in this movie. So that we didn't just have to call it like worse Arrakis, I guess.
Yeah. And it's also a little disappointing that this is a space adventure movie that, you know, the Stargate, they travel to the other side of the galaxy. And then the portion of the planet that they explore is like 1 square mile.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. We're going to a town and then like a monument that's a little bit outside.
We're spending a lot of time camped at this pyramid,
Yeah.
which is like, it's a cool pyramid. Great set.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wonderful set.
Yes. Oh man, the shot of it with the 3 moons behind
Shaw.
it. So fucking good.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
so
dude.
cool.
But I was like, this place could feel more alien to me.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it was mostly shot, like, I think part of that is because they mostly shot in the U.S. They shot this in California and Arizona.
Yes, it was shot in Yuma, Arizona.
Yes.
The desert stuff in particular.
And so I feel like you don't get quite the like, you know, the more alien feel that you get if you shoot, you know, a little bit farther flung from Hollywood.
I don't know. Like, I was looking at these shots and I was like, this feels like, you know, a Saharan African country.
Yeah.
Where they like would have shot Dune or, you know, Mad Max Fury Road.
Right.
It had that feeling to me, and then I was like, oh yeah, it was fucking Yuma.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it looks really good, but I just also wish that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has so much to do with the location or if it has more to do with like the kind of weird thing that this movie has about its scope and what it's trying to accomplish with its runtime.
Yeah, I do agree. It feels weirdly small. Like, it feels like they do limit themselves a lot.
Bigger than Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
Smaller than Independence Day.
Yeah.
But
weirdly big at the same time.
Like you can feel the scale and the
Yeah.
scope of this. There's like hundreds of extras on screen at certain points.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We kind of almost have like an old Hollywood epic thing going on in some of these shots where like some of the shots of like the army running down the hill when they're like fighting back against the gods at the end, that felt like it was like fucking the 10 Commandments amount of extras. And I was like, that's crazy that we're doing this for Stargate. And also like, I guess we just spent a lot of money on paying, you know, 500 dudes to run down this hill instead of like spending that money on like 4 more locations for this movie so that we could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe that's why you make it a TV show. And
Yeah,
you can
right.
have different adventures every week and go to a new planet or whatever.
Yeah.
But, again, it's like I really liked this and I really felt like the build-up was exciting. And then the movie just didn't quite live up to what I expected.
Yeah.
In several places.
Yeah. What else do we have to talk about? There's the Kurt Russell has a bomb. I like just the design of the bomb is very funny because they just make it look like a weird like sci-fi doohickey.
Yeah.
You can basically immediately clock it as a bomb though, because there's the early shot of him kind of sinisterly looking into this like briefcase, and you see the device and you're like, well, that's a fucking bomb. Even though it looks very non-specific, but it's like you can tell what I like that apparently we learn that it's like an atomic device because like Ra has the line about like, oh, your species has come so far since the last time I visited you, you like harnessed the atom, right? And so Ra's like, yeah, I'll just send it back to you with a fucking, with some additional fucking unobtainium strapped to it so that it fucking blows up the whole Earth or whatever. Which I like, it's fine as like a tropey sci-fi villain plot where he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna send your bomb back with some like ill-defined thing that's gonna make it even more powerful, and we're just gonna blow up like everybody back on Earth. Like, sure, and like the time, the putting the movie on a clock towards the end, I think is a good decision because it's been dragging a little bit, and then it like forces the movie to like get some inertia back.
Yeah, and I think the way that they resolve the plot by putting the bomb in the teleporter rings to teleport it onto his pyramid spaceship, like that's a fun ending.
Yes, it's really that moment's really cool. I like the fucking the space elevator, the alien elevator, where it's basically a teleporter that just like takes you from like one level to the next. And like when the pyramid is on top, when the pyramid spaceship is on top of the real pyramid, it's just like an elevator between the two levels of like the pyramid and the other pyramid. But then like once he blasts off, you can like beam something onto the ship that's like left the atmosphere already, which is fun. The best use of that is of course when Kurt Russell puts Anubis's head in the teleporter rings and like holds his body down so that only his head gets teleported, which is it's like the only good kill in the movie, really.
Jamon Hansu's in this thing.
Yes, I like that he is.
Is he Osiris?
I think he might be Osiris. He might be Horus. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's Horus. That's right. Horus.
Yeah.
It's Anubis and Horus.
He's got the bird head.
Yeah.
I like that this is early enough in Jamon Hansu's career that he is mononymously credited as just Jamon.
Yeah, I didn't know that he had that time in his career.
That's pretty cool. I like having the first name credit.
And some of the rah sentimental we're gonna rise up against our oppressor stuff in the end that sort of doesn't work. One of the things that does work is after he's killed and they're like, so like these are your gods. They're just dudes.
A guy.
It's just a dude in a mask.
Kill. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good moment that motivates some of the way that they fight back at the end of the movie.
You know what I was thinking about watching this? That it is a positive. I was like, man, in 1994 we were just designing shit.
I was so pleased to be like, oh, yes, motion pictures used to involve you going to a location with a camera and filming people there, or building a thing on a soundstage and filming people there.
Yes. And the thing that really stuck out to me as like, this is like designed.
And
people
I guess
thought about this.
I guess the Pest is that too, but right. John Leguizamo isn't in this movie. So no Jeffrey Jones either. So that's what gives Stargate a leg up.
Yeah. Oh man. Jeffrey Jones should not, I hope he was not allowed within 5,000 feet of this set, considering how many half-naked boys were on set for Stargate. Like Ra's entourage, Jeffrey Jones would have been fucking licking his lips and like rubbing his hands together.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's
but the thing that I was like, this movie has been designed by creative people who thought about shit, was the looks of all of Ra's guards.
Yeah.
Like all the guards are like the other Egyptian gods, right? And we have Anubis, we have Horus, we have some of those other fucking guys whose names I don't know. Osiris probably. And like all of them look different. They all have a different color scheme. They all have like their masks all look similar because they're all sort of the same alien Ra tech, but they all have like different colored glowing eyes. And they're like all they all have like a distinct silhouette, a distinct profile. And the guy underneath also has like specific eye makeup. They all have like specific like hairstyles or whatever. Like all of them have like the arm adornments that are different. And I'm like, thank God that all of these heavy henchmen guys all have like such distinct visual aesthetics, so I can tell all of them apart. I can track them throughout the action in this movie. I was like, I feel like we have lost this so much in action and sci-fi movies now, where like the biggest sci-fi movies of the last like 20 years have been superhero movies. And anytime I watch one of those fucking Marvel movies and there's a team of heavies that are assisting the main bad guy, I can't fucking tell these fuckers apart. They all look the fucking same.
Yeah, I mean, there's all the fuckers in Avengers Infinity War that are working for Thanos, and they just all kind of look like gray gleeklops.
Yeah. And it's like, at least in this movie, I know who's who, and they don't have characters, but at least they have like...
Here's the thing. You don't need character if you have cool looking guy who does cool things.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, it's like you got the guy with the cool looking jackal mask, and I know that he's like the baddest motherfucker on the team.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the Horus mask. The eagle head like moves.
Yeah.
Like he can see through the eagle head. That's fucking cool as shit.
You know what I did find myself wishing though? I do wish we got POV shots of what they're seeing through the masks.
Yeah.
I do think like mask
Like Predator vision?
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Would have been a cool thing for us to do in this
That'd be
movie
fun.
at some point.
Well, just more of them. Just more of those guys hunting people.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
also
yeah.
kind of, when they show up, they sort of look like predators too.
Yes, yeah.
With the big staffs and their builds. And then the way that their costumes sort of fit on them and the headdresses.
Yeah.
Kind of look like predators in silhouette.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I like these guys. I think the design is great, and I'm like, yeah, this is how you fucking do this in a sci-fi movie.
And crucially, CGI is used with them because it was clear that like, hey, we have this cool idea, but we can't quite achieve it practically, which is that their headdresses kind of fold in to the costumes. That
They do like kind of a Transformers thing.
Yeah. And like the CG is like, it's a little cheap and cheesy, but it's also kind of charming because they're like, they thought this was cool.
Yeah, and it is kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's cheesy, but it's kind of like, you can see why I thought this was cool as shit when I was 12.
Yeah.
Right? And another thing that I like is that Ra's face mask transforms differently because it kind of morphs into his head. Whereas the rest of these guys, like, the tech kind of like folds into itself because they're just humans wearing alien tech. But like, he's like a fucking like immortal godlike alien being, and so his mask could just kind of like transforms into his face, which I think is kind of fun. Although to your point, I think it would be cool if there was a puppet under there. Yeah. I don't know, do I have anything else to say about Stargate?
I kind of wish the ending was a little bit longer.
I did. Yeah,
It's sort of funny that it like we wrap things up and it's like, all right, we figured out the Stargate. We're gonna go back through it. I'm gonna stay here and bang my alien girlfriend.
Yeah.
Deuces. Roll credits. And I'm like, we don't get like another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We don't get to see Richard Kind again.
Right.
We don't get to see the old lady from Exorcist 3 again.
Yes. So who is she in Exorcist 3? Because you've mentioned this a couple times, and I know she was in it, but I couldn't place her.
She's the nurse that goes to George C. Scott's house with the shears.
Oh shit! She's the one with the
Yes.
shears at the end.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I would recognize that withered old bat's face anywhere.
I even did recognize her. I was like, I have seen her before, and then I looked her up, and I was like, oh, she's in Exorcist 3, but I just didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
I assume she worked at the hospital because that's most of the female extras in that movie. But hell yeah, that's awesome. Good to see her again. Yeah. I like that it sort of ends abruptly. Like, I kind of like that Kurt Russell is like, be seeing ya, Johnson, and then just walks through the portal, and that's the end of the movie. Like, literally, like, title card to the end, like, flies at the screen right after Kurt Russell steps through the Stargate. But I agree. Like, maybe we do, like, let's cut to James Spader and his wife Shauri, sitting on a dune watching the 3 moons rise over the horizon or something. Like, let's like do a little button
close
on it.
close the loop a little bit.
Yeah.
Give him his hero's journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is,
I do like that he stays there though, and that's like an obvious tropey thing with this type of story, but I do think it always kind of works for me where he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna fucking live on this planet halfway across the universe. Y'all can dismantle the Stargate, you can leave me here. I'm just gonna see what's going on fake Arrakis, like
Have
I'm
you
gonna see
seen?
if there's any other locations on this planet to visit.
We were talking about Indiana Jones. Have you seen Indiana Jones 5?
No, I haven't. I've seen 1 through 4.
Okay, I won't spoil it then. But
Oh, does someone decide to leave?
there's a thing that happens, and I'm not going to spoil
Okay,
it for you.
someone stays behind. Yeah. I'll figure out when I dial into
Dial of
the
Destiny?
dial of destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Adjust
movie
my
that
dial.
we definitely all wanted to happen.
A movie that everyone was clamoring for, as evidenced by the fact that I still have not seen it.
You know what's? I was just thinking about this
Yeah.
before I came over here.
Yeah.
After having my 7 beers
Yeah.
and sitting on the toilet, my pre podcast
Right.
recording poop.
Yes. It's a ritual.
It is fucking wild to me that a major studio is making a Masters of the Universe movie that is coming out this weekend.
Hey, man.
Because
45-year-old unmarried men have to see something at the movies.
but we're like a few years removed from 80s nostalgia.
yeah.
Who cares about Master of the Universe these days in terms
Yeah.
of there's no show going on, new series. We're not doing toys. I'm sure there's comic books and stuff for the real super fans. But it's just out of nowhere, we're going to do Masters of the Universe again.
Yeah.
It would be, I might be crazy for this. It would be like if they did a live action Thundercats movie.
No, I don't think that's crazy.
Because I
think you're
feel
right.
like Masters of the Universe and Thundercats occupied a similar space
Yep.
in 80s pop culture.
I do agree with you. I think that that's probably the right analogy.
Yeah.
And they did Speed Racer, and that was kind of like a similar thing. But I feel like Speed Racer was always a little bit weirder and more fringe and cooler. It felt like doing a Speed Racer movie was adapting something less well known and kind of bringing it more mainstream. Whereas Masters of the Universe is everybody knows about it, but nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know. And maybe it's just because we're a little too young
the thing
for
I'm
it,
most
but-
interested in is if they're gonna have a reference to the meme in it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Where he's singing
Apparently,
non-blondes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, Jared Leto's good in it, but I'm also he's doing a CGI mocap performance, and his voice is modulated, and he's playing a skeleton
Right.
guy.
So-
So why did it have to be Jared Leto?
Right. What does Jared Leto is good in this even
Yeah.
mean, first
Yeah.
of all? And also, second of all, I think we should just stop giving him opportunities to be
Right.
good in movies.
Who cares?
I don't care if he's good. Just stop putting him in shit.
He's a bad rock star. He's a bad actor.
Yeah.
He's
He seems
a
like
cult leader.
yeah.
Maybe he's good. Maybe he's bad. We haven't figured that out yet.
He seems like an annoying
Depends on
bad
how successful his cult is.
person.
Was Jim Jones a good or a bad cult leader?
I think
By the definition of what a cult leader is,
I
you
think
know?
technically, I think unfortunately you do have to hand it to him. I think he was good.
And
I
so,
think he
so
was,
if your cult ends in mass
I
suicide,
think
you're
the
a good
fact
cult
that
leader.
he was able to get that many people to commit suicide inherently means he
Yeah.
was a good cult. I
Yeah.
think that is if the measure of success of a cult leader is how good you are at getting people to follow what you say, I think technically he was maybe undefeated.
Okay. So once Jared Leto gets
Except
dozens
for-
of people to commit suicide
Right. Yeah.
for him, then I'll pay attention to him.
Yeah, I guess I would say maybe the only more successful cult leader would be like Brigham Young or
Oh, yeah.
yeah, any of those early
L. Ron
Mormon-
Hubbard.
Yeah, right. Because it's they were equally good at getting lots of people to do what they said, and those people didn't end up dead. At least not all at once.
We've veered off course. We've programmed the Stargate to take us to a different destination.
Although technically, Ra, sort of a cult leader in his own right in this movie.
He's got a little collection of boys.
Yeah.
Justice is Roland Emmerich's Stargate, the greatest movie ever made.
David, I remembered this movie fondly from my one viewing as a child. I remembered having a lot of fun with this movie. It had a big impact on me. Going back to it, yeah, I was surprised by how well I remembered this movie. A lot of my childhood recollections were dead on. I remember there were some scenes that I feel like I remembered beat for beat, especially the final fight with Anubis, and yeah, some of the action stuff. That being said, no, it's obviously not the greatest movie ever made. We've pointed out some of its obvious flaws, but like, I had a fun time at the movies watching this. At the movies, meaning on my couch. You could do a lot worse than this. This is like a good movie to like throw on in the afternoon and just kind of like hang out with. And if you watch it on a service that has ad breaks, that's totally fine. This is like it's good that I saw this movie on TV the first time when I was a kid, because I do feel like that is sort of the optimal experience of this movie, you know? No, yeah, this is like a fine thing to like, you know, you want to smoke a little weed, you want to have 7 beers, you want to watch a movie and just like chill out with it. And like, maybe if you end up taking a little nap, it's like not the end of the world because you didn't really miss that much.
Yeah,
like,
you can wake up in time for James Spader to use the staff of Ra laser.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the guy getting decapitated by the elevator.
Yeah. Yeah. And that one kid who's like in the like ancient Egyptian alien people's society. He's like one of the teenagers who like goes down like he's in Platoon.
Yeah.
And his like helmet rolls out of the fog. God. Like you can wake up to watch that and be like, huh, that's funny. That's a silly little moment of this movie when they try and make us care that this kid eats shit from space lasers being shot from like those like TIE fighter things. Yeah, so there's like moments like that where you're like, hey, this movie's doing something. It does feel like Roland Emmerich kind of like cracking his knuckles for something bigger and better. But like, this is still like popcorn entertainment. I really don't see why Roger Ebert had such a stick up his ass about this movie and hated it so much. I think this movie is very likable.
Did Roger Ebert ever watch The Pest?
You
know,
I don't know.
Maybe that would be on his 10 worst films and not this.
Yeah. I mean, like, it does bear repeating. Compared to The Pest, this film is like, this movie feels like Ridley Scott's Alien compared to The Pest. And that's the only time anybody should be comparing this movie to Alien, because it's like way less good.
I would be interested to know what racist jokes The Pest would make about the space Egyptians.
Yeah.
He does do walk like an Egyptian during the rap, so like...
He does, yeah. He puts the fucking suds on his head in a manner that is... Or no, he's like... Don't they costume him in like
he's wearing a headdress.
That movie sucks so bad! I'm so angry thinking about it. It's not the greatest movie ever made, but boy, oh boy, is it so much better than The Pest. David, is Stargate the greatest movie? Maybe that's
the metric for the podcast now.
Right? Is it better?
Is it better than The Pest?
That's going to be a yes for every movie that we cover until we finally cover a movie so bad that I die from watching it.
Yeah, until we throw in Megan is Missing or fucking August Underground or Serbian film or something.
Yeah. Is Stargate the greatest movie ever made?
Justice. I was really fucking rocking with this thing. And I was like, yes, this is what I needed. Give me some goop. Give me some slop. I love it. Give me dudes going through a portal with guns. Give me fucking sexy little James Spader with his long hair and his glasses and his cute little ass.
Yeah.
Give me the old lady from Exorcist 3 in another movie, because God knows she deserves it.
Give me Richard Kind. Give me Richard Kind. Cozy sweater.
Give me more Richard Kind, Roland.
Kind.
But as the movie goes on, it starts becoming tropey in a way that it wasn't before. Like, you know, the first 30 minutes, it feels like a combination of things that are very clear and very obvious, but they're sort of being remixed and reinterpreted in new ways and combined into something that I found really enjoyable. And then it's like, all right, now we're just kind of doing your standard space adventure, Dune, Star Wars riff. There's some fun lore. There's some really great looking sets and production design. Some fun sequences. I think Spader's legitimately good. I'm really let down by Kurt Russell, but it's still nice to see. Kurt Russell acting is still Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
And
so
I kind
I'm
of
still
think it's
having
not
fun
his
with
fault.
that.
I really do
Right.
think that the role was written poorly and he was badly cast in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the action's fun. But I do feel like, Roland Emmerich is really shaping up to make something bigger and better. I think he does that with Independence Day, but it leaves Stargate sort of feeling like somewhere stuck between sci-fi B-movie, popcorn, roller coaster ride, and sci-fi epic. In a way that doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
But I did like this movie and I had a fun time with it. But it's not the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah.
It's just not.
You know what I just remembered when you were talking about guys with guns going through a space portal?
Yeah.
The gun cocking noises in this movie, the gun cocking sound effects.
Yeah.
Total ass. They sound like shit.
I should have paid better attention to the guns, but I think it's a lot of like MP5s and Beretta 92s. Like it's just kind of standard 80s, 90s action movie guns.
Yeah.
Maybe with some like sci-fi shit glued on it.
Yeah. They just mix the gun cocking so loud, and it's like stock gun cock sound effect. It's like over and over and over. And I feel like for the first like hour of this movie, all of these dudes are cocking their guns constantly and never shooting. Like I feel like no guns go off.
It takes a long time before we shoot anyone in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I like the big space cows. They reminded me of your.
Fuck.
They reminded me of your dog Sonora.
Thank God you mentioned this, because we almost left this episode without talking about these giant puppets. This is one of the things that I think is good about this movie.
Yeah.
Like this movie is a mixed bag because like, yeah, it fucking drags and relies way too heavily on like a bunch of like really trite stuff. But also there's like big fucking puppet yak things with like really fucked up weird faces and these like big goopy tongues. And there's like the scene where one of them is like running across the desert with James Spader tied to it.
Yeah, and that one it's a dog in the costume dragging behind like an action figure sized James Spader.
Yeah, like a dummy. Yeah,
it's
and
cool.
it's so fun. And like, and also these fucking like yak creature things are not just in that one set piece of this movie. They're just like throughout, like in like random shots in like the middle of this movie. It'll be like, oh, there's one of those fucking puppets again, and it's like so great to see them. And I'm like, we needed more of this. And I think kind of like the microcosm of my feelings about this movie is those fucking yak puppets rule so hard. They look so good. They're so freaky and weird and interestingly designed, and I love looking at them. And also, how dare that be the only alien creature that you're showing in your movie?
Yeah.
There should be 8 more of these things.
Yeah,
There
that's
should be,
that's one
you
of
know,
the problems with the world.
Yeah.
The way that the movie portrays the world.
I do like the design of the raw alien, though, even though you only see him twice.
Yeah.
I like that he's kind of a...
see him more.
Yeah. He's kind of like a gray alien, but he's got little sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got kind of like wrinkly skin. That's fun.
Yeah, he's got like a little split down his face and
Yeah.
shit.
Give me more of that guy.
Anyway.
That's Stargate.
David.
Yeah.
What are we talking about next week?
That's a good question, Justice. And I am going to pose a question to you and leave it in your hands.
Yeah.
Recently, you watched the American masterpiece directed by Michael Mann entitled Heat.
Yes.
Starring 2 of our greatest living Italian-American actors. Actors, period, frankly.
Give me all you got!
Give me all you got! I can't do anything else. I'm on the downslope of a marriage. My third. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Yes.
And I would like to ask you, would you rather watch a crime movie starring Al Pacino or a crime movie starring Robert De Niro?
Ooh. This is hard. You know, my head is saying one thing, my heart's saying another.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my heart on this one. Give me all you got. We gotta do Pacino, baby. I gotta get more Pacino in my life.
Don't waste my motherfucking time.
Because I was like, De Niro, like I've probably seen less of him, and like I know that he is, of the 2 actors, maybe the one that tends to go like a little bit more subtle, a little more understated. But I'm like, what I really want is just that little. I want to see that little guy.
Trust
yelling.
me, here you're gonna get hell of an Al Pacino performance next week when we watch, and I cannot believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth. Warren Beatty's Dick Tracy.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I have never seen this movie. The more I hear about this movie, the more I really, really want to see this movie, so I am thrilled you picked it. Because this one has been on my radar for a while, and I'm like, I gotta see Dick Tracy.
I have seen it. It's been a long time, and
Hell
it
yeah.
is a very unique motion picture experience.
Fuck yeah. Oh, man, so many weird freaks in this movie. I just know that from cultural osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, give us a like, give us a comment, leave us a review, recommend us to your friends.
Follow us on Instagram, even though we didn't post there last week for the
We
Pest.
didn't. I'll have to do that. Hey, it's a tough time.
Yeah. We also didn't want to look at any stills from the Pest.
We didn't want to look at John Leguizamo's face on that fucking loud shirt that he's wearing on the poster.
Man. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. All the good stuff.
Yeah.
And take care of yourselves. We love you guys. And I hope that you're having a better day than I am.
Yes.
Although I have the day got better now that we talked about Stargate.
Yeah.
And I got to do Ray Winstone voice.
Yes. And you drank 7 beers.
And I drank 7 beers. And see you guys next week.
Yep.
We love you. Kiss, kiss. And as always,
Later,
dipshits. You fucking cunts.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Greatest Movie Ever Made. Please remember to leave us a rating and a review, and to subscribe to the show wherever you listen. We appreciate you supporting the show and spreading the word. Tell your friends to listen, tell your enemies to listen, tell your mom to listen. If your neighbor has an unsecured Bluetooth speaker, connect to it and play an episode. You can follow us on social media at TGMEM_podcast. And if you've got a movie that you want us to talk about, send us an email at thegreatestmoviepodcast@gmail.com.